Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina. Thrilled to be out on location again, thanks to Lancaster Parks and Recreation, and also set up right here in the Nature Center out at Alley Park. And I just want to give a shout out to Trina and Noah and thank them for allowing us to just be here in their space. And I've got such fun guests coming up ahead. I've got a young lady who she is on a Monarch mission. Her name is Abby, and we're going to hear about her and what she has been doing the last few years. And also I've got the Baltimore Chief of Police, Chief Mike Tussey, who is going to be with me. I just love some of the things that he has been doing for years and what he's got going on over in Baltimore. And folks, don't go anywhere, because I've also got a fun positive quote coming up at the end, a message that I just want you to, not forget about and keep in mind. I'll be back. It's Down Home with Tina.
Dagger Law has been part of the Lancaster community for more than 110 years. This is where we live and work. You'll see us at festivals, sporting events, and all around town. We consider our clients as friends, and we walk alongside you through challenging times. Whether you're a growing business, a changing family, facing litigation, planning your future, or dealing with land issues, we're right here. We are local. We are trusted. We are experienced. Dagger Law.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. So very excited. I have a young lady with me today who she has got a passion for monarch butterflies, and she has become known on social media here just recently, and that's how I found out about her, and I was like right on it. And she has got Abby's Monarch Mission, and so it's a mission on doing some really cool things. Abby, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
You're welcome. So before we get started about what you've been doing here the last few years, and we're going to find out all about that. So how has it been for you? Because last year you weren't in school, right? You did school from home.
Yes.
Yes,
I did.
Due to the pandemic. So I just wanted to ask you, because the school's starting and everything this week, what do you think about getting back into school and being with your friends? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
What is the number one thing that you're looking forward towards? Do you know? Is it? I know. What's your favorite class?
Science.
And why is science your favorite class?
You get to study lots of different things.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite things? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Entomologist.
And what is that?
It's a person who discovers and
studies bugs.
Yes.
What all is underneath an entomologist? Is it bugs and what else? Arachnids? Is that part of it? Just bugs? All bugs.
Yes.
Entomologist is all bugs. Why do you like bugs, Abby?
Because they're really interesting and
yeah. Do you have a favorite bug that you like?
I like a lot of them.
You do. Which, folks, we are here at the Nature Center, and it's really cool because they have so many different things here, and you were kind of taking a look at what they have, right?
Yes.
I kept hearing you say, what? That is so neat. That is so cool. The different things. Snakes, you like snakes and reptiles and all kinds of things like that, right?
Yes.
I think it's great. I think that is really cool because I'm going to leave that all for you to do because I'm not a fan to any of that. But why we're here today, though, is to talk about butterflies.
Yep.
Why do you like butterflies?
I like them. They're really fascinating, and they have lots of different colors and very pretty.
Yes.
And
so what have you been doing the last, how many years have you been doing this?
This is my 4th year.
Yeah. What is it that you're doing?
I am raising monarch caterpillars up to butterflies to let them go.
You have set up their habitat for them and everything, haven't you?
Yep.
How do you do that? Where do you even begin for somebody that is interesting to, because I'm sure you're inspiring a lot of folks to do something like this. what is the first thing that you do in order to be able to get to the butterfly and release a butterfly?
Well, we find the eggs at our aunt's, my house, or
And where do you find them? Where are the eggs? Where do you look for
on
them?
milkweed.
On milkweed?
Yep.
And is milkweed grown just anywhere?
It can be.
Where? Is there a certain place on the milkweed?
No, it just grows randomly.
Does it? Yeah. So when you're looking for the eggs, though, is there somewhere on the leaf? Is it the top side, the bottom side, or can they just lay eggs anywhere?
It's on the bottom side, but usually, usually it's on the bottom side, but sometimes it's on the top side for some reason.
Is it just where the butterfly lands
Yeah.
and lays? What I didn't know about butterflies, and I had learned about them, is that there are, well, female and males,
Yes.
right? What is the difference? How can you tell the difference between the two?
Well, males have a dot on their lower part of their wing, and females have darker lines on the lower part.
Darker lines for the
And
female.
no spot, no dot.
No dot. So that's how people can tell the difference.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get back to the very beginning. So the butterfly lands on the underside of a milkweed plant, the leaf of, and then what do you do? Where do you come into? You look for these on them, and what are you looking for exactly?
We're looking for the egg. We take them and then put them in their own little enclosure and just wait for them to hatch, and then
Go ahead.
keep feeding them.
Okay. How long does it take for an egg to hatch?
About 5 days.
5 days. Because I wanted to stop at a friend's yesterday, and I had decided, because I didn't know if you had any milkweed on your property or where you lived, that I got some of the pods off. And while I'm there, I decided to look for some eggs.
Yes.
Is it really easy to find the eggs?
It can be, unless they're trying to hide them.
Okay, okay. And so, in my case, my friend was like, "Wow, Tina, I found a couple of different ones on a couple of different leaves." And so I have one that I brought for you because you said now 5 days. Now the really little tiny white eggs on the leaves, right?
Yes.
You're saying a caterpillar hatches out from that
Yeah.
within 5 days, 3 to 5 days?
3 to 5, yeah.
And I have absolutely no idea. So I have had these in my house for 24 hours, and I am anxiously awaiting. So how long does it take for them to come completely out of the egg? Is it like seconds or minutes?
Well, depends, because some of them take a little to break the shell, but some of them are just quick.
They probably just like a chicken when baby chick when it hatches, right? Some just come right out, and
Yeah.
some are kind of slow.
Yes.
They eat. What do caterpillars eat, and how do you care for the caterpillar before it goes into the chrysalis?
They eat milkweed, and we put them in a very tall enclosure and then let them crawl up it and then hang into their J.
They hang into a J.
Yes.
That's just the shape that they hang when they're
Yeah.
hanging at the top of the habitat of the butterfly enclosure,
Yes.
right? That is so fascinating. How many caterpillars typically do you have in one of your habitat enclosures?
I don't know. Usually like 10 or 20. I don't know.
Oh, you can have up to that many then. You don't
Yes.
have to just have. Do you have to keep going out and getting and finding milkweed for them?
Yes, but we do have a little bit at our house.
Oh, you do? Awesome. Do you have to give them water as well? No.
They get their nutrients from the leaves.
How long, and there are different stages, isn't it? There, of course, it goes the egg and then the caterpillar, and then it grows. How long is it before it decides to, is it morph into the chrysalis? I don't know if I'm using the right terms. You're my expert.
It sheds into it.
Sheds into it. Wow.
It takes about 2 weeks for it to hatch.
2 weeks. Okay.
And then the butterfly.
How many years have you been doing it? You said about 4
4.
years?
Yes.
Okay. How many last year? We'll just say last year. If you have a total that you have released so far.
230 something.
230 something last year?
Yes.
And then how many total? Do you know how many total within the 4 years?
No, I don't really remember.
How much time does it take for you to care for your butterflies when you have them? Because when did they start hatching this year?
They start hatching like a month ago, I think.
A month ago?
Yeah.
Was it a little later than usual?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
And then when do they begin to, well, first off, they go into the chrysalis, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said shed into that? This is so neat. You have a video on your Facebook page, don't you?
Yeah.
Abby's Monarch Mission, where it sheds into
Yes.
the chrysalis. That's so cool. And you said how long is it in the chrysalis before then it comes out of that?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So total, from the time you get the egg, from when you have a butterfly that flies out of that habitat,
About,
what is the process?
I don't know, like 4 to something weeks for
Okay.
one of them, maybe.
For 4+ weeks, you say?
Unless they go in at the same time, then.
Okay. Do you almost daily, from the time you begin to get the eggs and the first one hatches into the caterpillar, are you releasing caterpillars? Butterflies?
Sometimes, but then sometimes they're a little bit slow, and then we get some a little bit after.
Do you? Yeah. And we're back to that question. How much time does it take for you to care for them, like in a day's time, to feed them and make sure everything is?
We usually check in at them in a couple hours because they demolish those leaves.
They do. How many, if you have like 20, say, how many leaves do you have to put in there on a daily basis?
Either 5 or 6 because they're pretty slow eaters, but
And they
still
just eat them up.
Yep.
What is your goal in 1 year's time to get a number of butterflies to hatch and fly away?
My goal is to
Like in a year's time.
repopulate them and beat my goal of last year.
Oh, so over 200, so 250 plus. Are you on there to get it this year, do you think?
I think I might.
Oh, I hope so, Abby, I hope so. What is there that I haven't said to you yet that you would like to share with everybody? Do you have anything? You know what? I'll let you go.
I don't.
You know what? Your mom and I were talking before we got started. What is something that folks sometimes mistaken and call the chrysalis?
A cocoon.
And what is the cocoon?
A cocoon is a moth's.
Yes, that is the moth. That is what that is. So there's a big difference between the two because a lot of people think they get that, they kind of misconception on that.
Yes.
And misinformed. Okay, I just wanted to give you some gifts. You are my inspirational gal of the month because I just love what you're doing. You're so inspiring. So we've got some fun little butterfly things in here that I hope you enjoy. And of course, always some cookies. Abby, I want to thank you so much, sweetie.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome, and good luck for school this year. You're going to do great.
I also have
Oh, you have something?
a chrysalis.
Oh, you have a chrysalis for me?
Yes, for you to hatch.
Okay, so how long do I have before? Because you know I'm going to be very, very keeping an eye on it all the time.
When it gets dark.
Dark?
So I'm pretty sure this is the one that went in a week ago, so it might hatch in a little bit.
In a little bit?
When it starts to get black and you see orange, that means it's about to hatch.
Okay, so can I take it wherever I want with me? Or do I have to leave it in one place?
You can.
I can.
Just make sure it doesn't fall.
I don't want to leave it. Just make sure it doesn't fall. Oh, so I need to be very gentle and I need to put it back down. Okay. I love it. Thank you so much.
You're
Yay,
welcome.
we're going to have my own little butterfly. Folks, go to her Facebook page, Abby's Monarch Mission. Take a look and see what exactly it looks like to watch an actual hatching of the caterpillar and turning into shedding, and then actually when a butterfly comes out. That is so fascinating. Keep doing what you're doing, sister. Good job.
Thank you.
I'll be back. You're watching Down Home with Tina.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
We were retiring from Tucson, Arizona, and we made a retirement trip out around Ohio, having decided that's where we wanted to be. And we came across this town called Lancaster, and we fell in love with the downtown area, where the fountain is, and the memorials, and the flags, and all this stuff. And we looked around, and I said, "There's our bank, right there."
There's something to be said about a community bank, a in your hometown.
Right. If you live in the community, you should do business in the community as much as possible. So it makes sense to bank with the community bank where you live.
Fairfield Federal is the bank to be at. If you live in this town, or any town actually, you want to bank at a local home bank. And the employees are happy here, they're conversant, customer service is through the roof. There's nothing more you could ask for.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I have the Chief of Police from Baltimore, the village of Baltimore, Mike Tussey, with me, and it's always awesome to have him. It's been, well, the first time now on the Down Home with Tina show, having you as a guest, but back in the day, we would chat like on a pretty regular basis when I was doing radio.
Absolutely,
so
yeah,
it's been forever. How have you been doing?
Well, busy, very busy.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things going on, and just you know, with any community, you know, everything grows, everything changes. So trying to make sure that we're up to speed with training and new things that are going on in the police world, court rulings. And those sort of things, right now in particular, can really take up a lot of our time.
Absolutely. How many do you have on the force in Baltimore right now?
If you count our full-time reserve and part-timers, we have 13.
Okay. Do you guys still oversee over in the Pleasantville? That's how long it's been since I've probably talked.
Yeah,
to
we have a contract with them to supply limited police service, which means basically they pay for so many hours, and then they give us an idea of when they feel they need more on-site coverage.
Right. Nice, nice, very nice that you guys are able to actually do that. So how are things going? I mean, how is the village of Baltimore? Things been pretty good lately? Is it quiet, or is it pretty much just like everywhere else?
I think that, you know, all in all, you know, I'm very fortunate because I have a really dedicated group of people that work with us. And so they really get out in the community and they try to keep aware of what issues are, potential issues. We try to be proactive instead of reactive. So we have problems just like anybody else. You know, the drug problem is still there. You know, we still run the program where people can come in and we you know, get them pointed in the correct direction, you know, for rehab and whatever. And that, you know, of course, all 3 schools are inside of our jurisdiction, so that keeps us hopping when school's in. This pandemic thing, last year in particular, was a very interesting environment to work in a small community, because people are very, I don't want to say they're reckless, because that's not even close to the truth, but they're very set in their ways. And so a lot of people just did not buy into a lot of the wear a mask, don't do this, don't do that. And there was a misconception that the police were somehow going to enforce that, which we were not. That's a Department of Health issue. So it was, you know, that was one of the things we had to make sure people, you know, we're driving down the road and you don't have a mask, you don't have to grab one and put it on your face. You know, we're not out being the mask police. So, and that's kept us busy. We had 4 officers that were off because of COVID.
Oh no.
Which hurt us a lot on our patrol hours and schedules. But I think everybody's gone through that. And as of right now, everything seems back on track, and everything's going pretty smooth.
Good. Back in the day, I call it the time we met, but it wasn't even that long ago. But you guys used to have the DARE program, but you have changed it over now. You have your school resource officers, and I think that a lot of the schools have that. So tell me what the difference has been since then, because does it help to keep those in the village calmer? You know, the kids are aware, they know, and it helps the kids to know what is right and what's wrong.
Oh, absolutely, because, you know, without that program, what would happen is if we had a juvenile complaint, the option that we would have would be to investigate it. If a crime or criminal charge could be filed, forward it to the prosecutor's office. With this, we're able to work within the confines of the school, and many times it's handled internally as a violation of a school policy. we find that the vast majority of these kids that have a glitch, it's a one-time sort of thing. Maybe they've had some sort of a traumatic experience in their life, maybe something at home or something along that line, where the school resource officer is in the school every day. They identify what we refer to as our at-risk population, and they make sure that they're contacting them. Hey, how's your day going? Are you having a good day?
Nice.
So as they go up through the program, as they go up through the school system, they become more familiar with the fact that seeing a uniform is okay, that we're just another person in the school. We're there to help them out. We're there to talk to them if they want to talk. And it also comes in handy because a lot of times we'll have somebody come in and say, I don't know who this kid is, but here's what I know about him. And I call the school resource officer up and he says, oh yeah, I know exactly who that is.
Okay.
So that's been a real plus. We still utilize a lot of the things out of the DARE program. We certainly are heavy into the avoid the drugs, avoid the, a big issue we have up there, which I think every school does now, is this vaping thing. And obviously that's illegal for kids that age. And so we started a no vape program. As a matter of fact, we'll have a program that we're going to be doing in the middle school this year. And that's just to try to we want to get early on with this so that as they move up through the high school, it's more prevalent at the high school age, so that they have the tools necessary to say that's not something I want to do.
Good.
As they get into high school.
Good, because it's a newer thing. Well, last few years, several years now, I guess. So it's just, we still don't know the damage and all that it can possibly do even later in life. But so you are also part of did you say task force is what it is?
It's the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force Ohio.
Okay, perfect.
The Ohio unit, which is headquartered out of the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office in Cleveland. And so what happens is they will get tips from all sorts of different locations, different people, different companies, that says we suspect this may be child pornography. It goes to them, and then investigators in different areas will get those cases, and then our mission is to look into them, determine is this something that was, you can accidentally type in something very innocent, especially if you're a kid,
heavens. Yes.
and something will appear that you're like, wow, I didn't want to do that. Is that what it is, or is this something that we start to see a history of repetitiveness, where they are constantly looking at that?
We've only got a couple of minutes left. Chief Tussey, what is the best thing that you can tell parents if a child, well, even if they have a phone, and I say child because a lot of children these days, probably even 5 years and up, maybe even younger, well, I have seen youngers play the games, and hopefully it's their parents' phone, in my own opinion, personal opinion, but they have them at their fingertips, these phones. What is the best thing that you can recommend to parents to keep that from popping up and seeing that on these phones?
I've been doing this 40 plus years, and I've said this from day one, and sometimes parents don't get it, but if you have chose to be a parent, be a parent. Make decisions that are right for your child, not what's right for you, or not what is a status symbol sort of thing. You can purchase phones that simply allow you to program what numbers that child can call.
Right.
And depending on the age and the necessity, and that's the big one, if there's no real reason for that child to need that phone, then they don't need that phone.
Right.
And then as they prove that they are mature with that phone, you can add other things to it. But monitor that, demand all their passwords so that you can get in and look at what they've been surfing or what they've been doing with that, and keep the phone in your name so that you can contact that service and ask them, hey, I just got this bill and I want a bill of every time that phone was used, or what the texting amounts were on it.
Well, and there's a reason why different movies have the ratings that they have.
Exactly.
We just don't have phones that can monitor ratings like that.
And it would be wonderful if we did.
I know, but unfortunately we don't. So I just have a little gift in here for you. I want to thank you so much for being a guest and taking the time.
Well, thank you very much.
And for all that you do, of course, as well. So, and hopefully we'll be connected more so you or I can have one of your guys come on and chat.
Sure, absolutely.
With me, and maybe we can talk smack about Chief Tussey. I would never ever talk smack about this guy. He's such a great guy. Thank you once again,
Well,
and here's
thank
your
you.
little goodie bag.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Folks, I'll be back. You're watching Down Home with Tina.
Stewart alongside Tim Shoemaker. Tonight, we've got a great one for you. The Blue Carroll Bulldogs.
We had a great week of practice. Even in the rain and the weather, we had a great week of practice.
Schneider, lots of running room to midfield. He's gone. Ryan Schneider down the near sideline for a touchdown for the Aces.
We have a hold on the offense, number 20. That penalty will be declined. They'll bring up 4th down.
And we're going to give you this game ball here because you're a Tiberios fan of the game. And thanks for being here, Jacob.
Thank you.
The Polar Bears are your OAC tournament champions, first time since 2009. What an exciting finish for the Ohio Northern Polar Bears.
And be very proud of this trophy because you've earned it.
Down Home with Tina is brought to you by these amazing sponsors. I want to take the time to also just thank you for watching the show and to let you know you can watch it not only on CLN Spectrum 1021, you can watch YouTube, CLN Your Hometown Connection, also my Facebook page. You can also follow me on my website and see what's going on that as well at downhomewithtina.com. Folks, I have a great friend. Her name's Jody Bird. She is a travel blogger, and I just love what she's doing. And she was telling me that she had all this lavender that she had planted, grown, and harvested. And so she's got these little bags that I'm giving out to my guests. And I just want to ask you if you will go to Bountiful Blessing Travel Blog and check out her blog. She's so neat and so fun, and she takes some really cool pictures of the different places. Here in Ohio is where she's been traveling most recently. I know due to COVID she has not been able to expand that travel, but she will eventually get to go out and about and share more of those stories and things with you. But if you'll check out her blog, that would be great. My message that I had mentioned to you at the beginning of the show, I had Abby on, and she's got Abby's Monarch Mission through a Facebook page that you can follow her. But when I was out looking for some little butterfly gifts, because I love everybody, but kids just have a special place in my heart, and I thought I wanted to find something butterfly-like. And when I was looking at the display, I came across a book that is called The Butterfly Effect, and it is a book by Andy Andrews, and it's How Your Life Matters. So my positive message that I wanted to bring to you today is, you know, you see a butterfly in so many different stages that it has to get to where it needs to be. But no matter what stage in your life, you have to always remember that you matter. And what the story about this is it talks about the actions that you make. And one action or one thing, a choice that you may make today, it can affect down the road many, many, many others. And in the storyline, it goes back to the Gettysburg Address and one captain and one thing that he had chosen to decide to do that still affects America and the United States and what we are today. So if you get a chance, I would recommend that you read this, The Butterfly Effect, How Your Life Matters by Andy Andrews. I finished it, I want to say within half an hour, but it's just behind what it means, the meaning of it, and for you to just never forget that you matter. Also, many kids are starting school this week, so I just wanted to give a shout out and let you all know that you're in my thoughts and prayers for a good, healthy, safe school year. Just, you know, hang in there. If you got to wear the masks again, wear the masks, and we'll one day get back to I hope that I'm not jinxing anybody that we have to do that, but some kids will continue to. Just everybody's got to respect that and have a safe and happy school year. Thank you so much for watching the Down Home with Tina show. God bless, and watch for me for next week, guys. Down Home with Tina. Have a great week.